And Le'Veon. Back out onto the field now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, like they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mahomes now on first down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Throwing is Mahomes on third. But it's brought in by Washington. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues.
In today's football, but receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage. When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Jensen. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. They'll fight him out over the middle. It's Washington. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
The Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
And again, it's Mahomes. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am go ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Mayfield to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with, well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jensen. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll go again with Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now here's Mahomes. Wright's got it. Finding room to the 20. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Again, it's Bell. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
Here we go now. Green, 90. Green.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Going to the air again with Mayfield. He's going to fire. It's caught inside the 25. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And he's got it. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and his guys are going to take the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Mahomes now on first down. Over the middle, complete. That's Jensen. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green 39.
The give is to Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Ready. Green 90. Green 90.
Now Bell. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak,
at maximum.
You can't give the guy a skirt steak the first 3 times.
Filet,
There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Pretty move. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Gone, 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 gone. Now let's go.
Mayfield. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball in the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. His first attempt of the night here, and it's a big one. It's for the win. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So it'll all come down to the booming right leg of Greg Zuerlein. His first attempt of the night here, and it's a big one. It's for the win. And the 13-year man puts it through, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for our visitors, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on